Welcome. It's another beautiful day and I've got my coffee. So let's watch some stuff.
Guess what I've got on my camera? Infrared is what I've got. And look at these objects all around the sun. And no, you're not seeing things. They're there. Trying them out really fast because I've got to go to work. But I can't wait to hook these up to the binoculars and see what I can see, because I think it's going to be a little exciting. We're going to go around in a circle.
Now, this one is relatively new to me. I hadn't heard of this Planet X yet. I live in a bubble. That's all there is to it, I guess. But doing some research, I guess in 1906 was when it was hypothesized that it orbits our sun and it's like Neptune sized. I don't know why there are multiple spots in this lady's video around the sun. I guess that's just, I thought that was like Nibiru is coming and not Planet X, and they're not the same thing. I'm not sure. I'd like to know more about this. If you know where I can find some good information, why there are all of those spots there and what they're supposed to represent as far as Planet X is concerned, let me know. Hey, I really appreciate you joining me for today's coffee talk. If you're having a good time, maybe you'd consider hitting that subscribe button and come back tomorrow, because I'm making a new video every day.
Nobody talks about this, but the industrial flavorings industry is one of the biggest causes of obesity in America, and the way it's regulated is extremely corrupt. So the main cause of obesity is highly processed food. One of the main reasons why highly processed food causes obesity is something called hyperpalatability. Basically, most junk food is strategically engineered to taste so good that you end up eating more than your body actually needs. If you look at a packaged food label, 99% of the time you will see either artificial flavors or natural flavors. Food manufacturers purchase these formulas from flavoring companies. Flavoring companies employ legitimate chemists who are trying to make the food as palatable as possible. So who regulates what goes into this stuff? This is where it gets sketchy. Flavorings are regulated by a group called FEMA. They oversee the flavor library, which is a list of the 4,000 different chemicals that can be used under the umbrella term of flavors. So who runs this group? You'd think they'd have some independent, impartial individuals. Nope. These are all executives from big food and flavoring companies. They regulate themselves.
It's a vicious cycle. The processed food and food industry is just, it just keeps getting worse and worse. And the idea is to, like you said, to make you want to eat more. I don't eat processed foods anymore. I don't even eat plants. The only plants that I eat are in the form of hot sauce and coffee. That's it. It's insane the amount of just crazy stuff that they put into natural flavors and artificial flavors. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. They're profiting off of our obesity. And then that helps out Big Pharma, right? It just doesn't stop.
Is there a hidden planet in our solar system? Scientists have picked up some anomalies in the Kuiper Belt, which is in the outer reaches of the solar system. Specifically this dwarf planet, 90377 Sedna. Sedna was discovered only 20 years ago, and scientists have had a difficult time explaining its existence. This is our solar system and like Pluto, and this is the orbit of Sedna. It's so far away in a seemingly empty area where 1 year on Earth is 11,408 years on Sedna. It might be hard to imagine discovering a planet without seeing it, but that's actually how Neptune was discovered. In 1846, Johann Galle noticed something strange about Uranus. It wasn't appearing in the sky where it should be. Something big was slightly distorting its orbit. Using the math of two earlier astronomers, he confirmed its location and discovered Neptune. It's not just Sedna that has a strange orbit out there. There are other small bodies past Neptune that have these really bizarre orbits, all of which could be happening because something big is tugging at them. If it exists, it could be up to 3 times the size of Earth, and so far away from the sun that it looks like just any other star to it. This newly hypothesized planet is being called Kuiper Belt Planet, which would be a bit closer than the proposed locations of Planet X, or we lost it a long time ago and we're just seeing the after effects that it left behind.
So I thought I had found something about Planet X, but turns out I'm just learning something new about another new planet, potential planet. But I think she had her numbers mixed around. She said 1 year on Earth is 11,408 years on this planet, but I think those are supposed to be backwards. So we're gonna go with 1 year on that planet is 11,408 of our years, which sounds a little more likely. But that's really cool. New planets, yay.
Buzz Aldrin admits the moon landing was
What
fake.
was the scariest moment of the journey?
Scariest. It didn't happen. It could have been scary. Circuit breaker.
Why has nobody been to the moon in such a long time?
That's not an 8-year-old's question. That's my question. I want to know, but I think I know. Because we didn't go there, and that's the way it happened. And if it didn't happen, it's nice to know why it didn't happen, so in the future, if we want to keep doing something, we need to know why.
That looked an awful lot like creative editing. This would be much bigger news if Buzz Aldrin himself had come out and was like, nope, didn't happen. I mean, there's a lot of evidence saying, not evidence, there is a lot of stuff, I guess, saying that it didn't happen. But this would have been bigger news, right? Yeah. That's creative editing. Good job. Looks good. Looks real good. Okay, so I was just going through this again, and I just noticed that it said Buzz Aldrin. So, was that even him?
Have you guys ever heard of Project Camelot? Most likely not. Back maybe 10, 15 years ago, the internet was a very different place. There wasn't so much censorship or Google pushing certain narratives or media outlets pushing certain narratives. But Project Camelot is where I learned a lot of different alternative information. You can look them up on YouTube. It might be a little hard to find, or look up their website. Just look up projectcamelot.org or .com. That's where I learned about super soldiers, about the different Rothschilds and different wealthy families and Rockefellers. That's where I learned about the different extraterrestrial races that have visited this planet. I'm not paid by Project Camelot at all. I'm just speaking on my experience, on the information that I've found on Project Camelot. So yeah, Project Camelot offers a lot of different videos you can watch and a lot of different articles you can read. That's just my little gift to you if you're looking for alternative information in an age where censorship is very high, in an age where information is very curated for a specific narrative. Go ahead and look up Project Camelot and hopefully you can find it. If you have any questions, you can send me a message on Instagram and I can send you the link.
All right, we're in the truck. It's pouring outside and it's time to pick up the children. It never stops. So Project Camelot was mentioned in a video yesterday and I just wrote it down real quick and I wanted to look up some information on it. And this particular video seems to be going in a bunch of different directions. Aliens, elite, super soldiers. This is like the first time I'm looking into it. If you know anything about this Project Camelot, let me know. I'd like to, dive down this rabbit hole and figure out some more about it.
Did you know that every time you hear your name being called without anyone actually calling it, it's actually you in a coma and your family is trying to wake you up? Listen carefully, you'll be shocked. There's a theory that when we're in a coma, we still think we're active in our daily lives. Imagine that you're lying unconscious in a hospital bed and your family is desperately waiting for you to wake up, but you have no idea. Your brain is doing everything to keep you in the dark, creating an alternate reality where you're awake, living a normal life. Each time you hear your name, it's like a crack in that illusion, your family attempting to bring you back to reality. But deep down, your subconscious knows the truth, leaving breadcrumbs for you. That's why you seem convinced that someone has called you, when in reality, it's not at all the case. Moments of déjà vu and strange dreams are the clues to guide you back to reality. So, the next time you hear your name without explanation, perhaps you're actually in a coma, and your family is desperately trying to wake you up.
All right, we're back in my office. Thanks for taking that little trip with me. This last video is a little terrifying. Could you imagine like something like catastrophic happens? You're in a crazy car accident or something like that, and you're in a coma, and your brain just continues to live out day-to-day life. It's producing these experiences for you, like everything around you is just a figment of your imagination. Like what you're doing right now, what I'm doing right now. It's not really happening. We're just lying in a bed trying not to pass away. That's terrifying.
I mean, the whole concept of eating is just a massive conspiracy.
Eating? Like anything?
Yeah, I mean, think about it. What industry benefits the most from people eating?
Like the food business?
Food and beverage industry, exactly.
Yeah, but
the amount of salicylic acid and BH321 toxins that exist in foods is just off the charts, and we know this now. So I just think the idea that we have to be compelled to eat to survive, it's just a moneymaker for the food and beverage industry.
For all food?
Yeah. So
I don't know, man.
That's why I gave it up entirely. And you know what? I've never felt.
Oh my God. Are you okay?
Okay, that was just silly. I didn't realize that's what he was going to do. I thought he was going to give like some explanation about how the Food and Drug Administration or how the food companies are pushing their agenda on you. And that was just funny. He gave up eating completely. Oh, I just realized the candle's not lit. Hang on. That's better. Anyway, that was a silly little one. Let's move on to something else.
This is the new Universal Material Enhancement Unit. What it does, it works like Earth and the Sun. And inside it, we can produce any material we need in space. In space, we cannot take materials with us. With a new understanding of the technology, we can literally make what we need at the point of demand anywhere in space. We can produce materials where the center works like a sun, and all the systems, each one tuned to produce one material. We can produce copper, we can produce zinc. We can produce any material we need at a time and a point of need and demand. And this is what the new technology is. The new space technology. Man does not need to carry any food, medicine, or water. We produce it anywhere in space. This allows the mankind to be able to sustain life for long-term duration anywhere in the universe. When we close it, it produces whatever you need inside.
That whole video was a load. He says that in space, you can create all of these materials that you can't take into space. It works like the sun and the earth, and it creates these materials. No. I read the little blurb that they say pause and read. And here, I'll read just a little part. It says, embedding the essence of the new GANs, which is gas in atomic nanosolid state, plasma science and technology. It uses the collective plasma field technology for changing and enhancing the environment of the body of the man. This new plasma enhancement changes the environment of the body to allow it to return to its natural balanced condition as in the womb of the mother, allowing every cell in the body of the man to find its natural origin field strength balance. Natural original field strength balance. So it's not that. At the bottom, it says propulsion stop balance is achieved and the body remains in natural homeostasis or balance. It says something completely different. It's talking about returning homeostasis and creating a balanced condition as in the womb. It's not. Nothing in that video was true. Nothing. I don't think that guy even really worked with that machine. I don't think it's even a machine. I think it's just a piece of plastic sitting there with a chair. It's a fancy dentist chair, and nobody likes going to the dentist. That being said, I hope you had a good time. I know I did. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Oh, check out my cutting room floor.
3, 2, 1.
Excuse my disaster today. A lot of this stuff is new to me because I'm pretty naive and sheltered, I guess. But doing some. But I didn't do any research, so I don't know.
There's a lot to unpack. There's a lot, because it's a lot.
It's pretty sad. This is take 3. Last 2 times my mic wasn't turned on. That whole video was a complete sham. He was talking about one thing, the writing said something else. None of it was true. It was all fake. Every last bit of it. Fake. That was fake. There was nothing. What is it? Okay, so this is what happened. This is what I think happened. I think that there was a seminar and you can go in this place and you can stand in front of this machine and you can give a expose about what it is. But it's not it. That's not what it was. It's not what it was. That was just like that Instagram fake jet setting where you can go and you can take pictures like, oh, I'm in a private jet, but instead it's at like a new science convention, and it's like, oh, here's this. You can stand in front of it and tell us what it is and make up your own thing because it was all crap. Yeah, that's right. Every day. You know why? Because I can and I'm gonna. And that's all there is to it.